Peace is the path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. On the news this evening, stakeholders react as long queues resurface in petrol stations in Port Harcourt. Chairman, Union of Pensioners, frowns at slow pace of payment of gratuities by Rivers State Government. Organizers of August the 1st protest reject proposal for confined protest. On the foreign scene, death toll in India, massive landslide rises to 93. I am Kalada Kurubatuba. Good evening. We'll go for a quick commercial break. We begin the bulletin this Tuesday evening with a report that the chairman of IPMAN in Rivers State, Ekene Ikpaki, has attributed the scarcity of fuel in Port Harcourt and environs to the non-availability of products at the depot in Rivers State. Mr. Ikpaki said this following the resurgence of long queues in petrol stations in parts of the Port Harcourt metropolis. The state IPMAN chairman told correspondent Subi Uruwari that residents must avoid panic buying, saying the product will soon be available.
Scarcity is something that has always been there, but how we manage it is also what's important. Sometimes scarcity comes from short supplies or delayed supplies from logistics and all. We can say there's a bit of scarcity because the assurance is product is coming in. Even right now, loading is still going. There's going to be inflow of a product. So people should just be relaxed and not engage in panic buying. There will be sufficiency in no distant time because more product is coming into the town.
Also, the chairman of Petron in Rivers State, Francis Dingpa, spoke on the reason for the different prices of the products.
The issue of pricing is obvious, clear situation where the stations are selling just how they bought. I don't think we should go for the issue of pricing, but I know that once there is availability of fuel, pricing may come down. But when there is scarcity of fuel, definitely because of demand and supply and competition, prices will definitely go up. That's what we're experiencing. The good thing about River State is that the Petroleum Product Retail Outlet Association of the River State chapter is encouraging her members to go up and search the PMS from any depot where it is and ensure that the people get fuel.
In the meantime, some of the filling stations that are open for business or that were open for business this morning were selling a litre of fuel from between 850 to 870 naira, while long queues have been witnessed at the NNPCL franchise filling stations and that of the NNPCL mega filling stations in Port Harcourt. Meanwhile, our correspondent who visited some motor parks reports that commercial transporters have increased their fares due to the hike in price of fuel. From Rumosi to Alakaya, which was between 100 to 150 naira, now costs 150 to 200 naira. Rumosi to Rumokoro costs between 300 naira and 400 naira. Rumokoro to Iliozu, which was 100 naira, increased to 150 naira, while Rumokoro to Rupoko is now 300 naira as against 250 naira. Uzwaba to Rumola rose from 400 naira to 500 naira, while Ada George to Cornerstone Junction increased from 250 naira to 300 naira. From Rumola to Choba equally increased from 600 naira to between 700 and 800 naira. Some passengers also complained about the increase. They also called on the government to go back to subsidizing fuel.
This road alone, they affect me. This road to run this road. So see pass here and we know see pass here. Sometimes we run empty reach Fumola. Sometimes we still carry 2 or 3 number. Because of this fuel, say they female this fuel contact okay for us. So that if they see something, they gotta go out.
At the end of the day, we still come back to where we are. Nothing to write home about, but we still appreciate God. The challenge is that the queue sometimes and the meter is not complete. It's always like that in every station. So that is the challenge. So without subsidy, we can't survive. Even as they remove it, we are suffering. What is the difference?
What in there? Say some people say 890, 880. How did they say now? Before survive for this, now only by God. So the country don't tire everybody. You have to increase transport based on the fuel.
We are now 870 the ban. The thing they worry us when I beg Tinubu.
Recall that President Bola Tinubu during his inaugural speech announced the removal of fuel subsidy. To security matter, a middle-aged man, Justice Ejechi, is seeking the intervention of River State Commissioner of Police CP Olatunji Disu in a case of alleged trial through fetish means by members of the Joe Vigilante. Mr. Ejechi, in an interview with our correspondent, alleged that he was compelled to take an oath following an allegation against him by his neighbor that he stole from his house. He also accused members of the vigilante group of breaking into his house. He said the matter has been reported to the police.
My neighbor said I came to his house to rob him of his valuables, which I know nothing about. Prince Amatare, being the leader of the Joe Vigilante, now mandated a searching in my house. They came to my house to search. At the end of the day, they didn't see anything. He still mandated me to go to one of their barrack to go swear juju. Go there again, go swear juju. The native doctor with the carry come out saying, "Na me collect them." I said, how? We come back. After 2 days, I travel go my sister house. I did there. Then call me again. Say, Joe Vigilante again. Come my house, come search. When I know they.
Reacting to this, the General Commander of Joe Vigilante, Amatari Bipilade, denied the allegation.
The same justice went to my police station, Nkolu police station, and reported this same matter. I have gone to the police station twice, and the justice have not even appeared there. It is quite unfortunate that people who have questionable character, known to all and sundry in Joe, always want to cover themselves with social activities and begin to credit people who are protecting lives and property. I am the General Commander of Joe Vigilante. This matter was brought to my office, and as I speak to you now, from that day it was brought to my office, justice have not even come to my office. After coming to think that they went to so place and that the place they went to, it was just responsible.
Meanwhile, a Port Harcourt-based lawyer, Joel Victor, in an interview said trial by ordeal is an offense that attracts 10 years imprisonment upon conviction.
Rather than taking the suspect in this case, to security agencies that are charged with the responsibility of investigating crimes, the person is now taken to one juju priest or a place where he is being told to take an oath just to confirm if he did that thing or not. That is what the law France the law prohibits that. If you take a close look at the relevant sections of 207 to 213 of the criminal code, the law France at it, and it carries a jail term of not less than 10 years if such person that perpetrates such acts is being convicted.
Moving on, a Port Harcourt-based lawyer, Otonye Amakri, has expressed concerns that abuse of court process is fast becoming a major issue in the judicial system in the country. I recall that over the weekend, some members of PDP held its congresses in Rivers State after Justice Peter Lifu of a Federal High Court in Abuja issued an order to allow them to hold it. This order came despite existing new and old court orders stopping the exercise in Rivers State. Speaking of the legal implications of the conduct of the PDP congresses in the state, Mr. Makri told correspondent Soibi Ruwari that the exercise may have illegality issues if all the ingredients of abuse of court are established.
We have done what His Excellency have directed us to do.
The legal practitioner, however, blamed the lawyers in the cases for the conflicting court orders. Moved on. Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has donated 3 transformers to Igbo community in Ikoyi local government area. Commissioner for Power Solomon Abel AK made this known when he delivered the new transformers to the community. Speaking to newsmen, Mr. Abel AK, who represented the governor, said the donation follows the protest by some women of the community after years of lack of power. He said the governor directed the Ministry of Power to reconnect Igbo community and other neighboring communities back to the national grid.
We have done what His Excellency have directed us to do. For several years, these people have been living without light, and we have had different administrations. But by the grace of God today, these communities will be lightened up, they will be reconnected to national grid, and they will have steady electricity in this community. And not only that, the adjoining community of Ubima and the rest of them will also benefit from this reconnection. And so this is what we like doing. Service to humanity is the best work of life, and we are ready to serve our people 24/7.
Mr. Abel Eke directed the immediate installation of the new transformers. He also urged them to protect the facilities.
They have also promised us that they will keep faith with His Excellency, because he has come to their rescue. They will always be there for him anytime he needs them. And we have given them 1 month only to be able to restore electricity to them. All our workers have already geared into action. They have started planting poles, and at the end of the day, they will reconnect to the transformer by stepping it down, and from there, we'll commission the electricity down in Ipo community. I want to thank them for their peaceful disposition, and they have also promised us they are going to jealously guide this facility that government has given to them, and that they will not allow anybody to tamper with it.
One of the leaders in the Igbo community and another from a neighboring community thanked the governor for the donations.
First, I want to thank God Almighty for giving us a governor that will not play politics with the life of his people. A governor that when he make promises to the people, he will keep them. I listened to my brother here talking. He didn't tell me what he will do for the governor. What he has told us is what the governor has done for you. As far as this gesture is concerned, you will not hear any other grammar apart from Simelalaye.
The governor of this state, despite the fact that I know that one day he will come here, has known it more than the way most of us know it. Because from the day one, when he had the name of it, he beckoned, he said, go and bring them. And not minding how tattered we were, he received us. And please, send our words back to him, telling that he is the son of people. If I borrow the word of my paramount ruler, I do not think how many Ikwere communities that have benefited from what we've gotten from the governor of the state.
Our correspondent reports that the women of Igbo came out in their numbers, jubilating over the gesture of the governor to ensure a steady power supply in their community. In other news, the South-South Zonal Chairman of Pensioners, William Sele Pere, is demanding a minimum wage for retired civil servants. Dr. Sele Pere said the demand became necessary following the signing of the 70,000 naira new minimum wage for civil servants by President Bola Tinubu yesterday. He urged the government to begin preparation for the consequential adjustment to elevate the suffering of pensioners.
It is noted in the constitution or in the law that when once the workers' salaries are increased, the percentage, 20% is also to be added to the pensioner. We want the state government to, as a matter of urgency, implement the percentage that accrue to the pensioners in the state, because we all go to the same market.
Meanwhile, the chairman of the Nigerian Union of Pensioners, Collins Wanko, has frowned at the slow pace at which the state government is paying gratuities and pension arrears for retirees in the state. He also called on the state governors to fast-track the implementation of minimum wage.
All we are praying is that the state government should understand these things and carry out the payment implementation immediately. Because when they delay, it creates a big problem for us. That is where consequential adjustment policy begin to come in. But if it is implemented almost immediately, as workers are getting this, we are also getting our own on the other line. No problem, people will get their own. We may not get exactly what those on board that's working get, but whatever we get, we'll be able to keep us fine with them.
Meanwhile, some residents of Port Harcourt Metropolis are calling for an organized salary structure for workers in the informal sector. Speaking with our correspondent, the respondent said requisite training and professionalism should be a yardstick for earning the new minimum wage for every category of worker to be included in the minimum wage. We'll go for a quick commercial break. When we do come back, the rest of the news.
This is news on 90.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome to the news. Inspector General is Kaitokun. Security agents will know substance and repeat of the end of lives were lost. IGP said at a meeting with paramilitary and state. He reiterated committed preparedness of the Nigeria police force to protect all peaceful protesters. Officers of the planned #End Bad Governance nationwide demonstrations have rejected the proposal by the Inspector General of Police, Kaide Betokun, for confined protest. A lawyer to one of the organizers, Egbun Olu Adegboruwa, rejected the IGP's suggestion during a meeting today. Human rights lawyer Femi Falana, representatives of the Nigerian Bar Association, other lawyers, civil society organizations, as well as some arrowheads of the planned protest attended the virtual meeting.
And now, we bring you news from around the world.
On the foreign scene, the death toll in the heavy rain-triggered massive landslide in India has risen to 93. Dozens more are still fear-trapped. On the news this evening, you heard stakeholders have reacted to the resurgence of long queues in petrol stations in Port Harcourt. The chairman of the Nigeria Union of Pensioners in Rivers State has frowned at the slow pace of payment of gratuities by the Rivers State government. Organizers of August 1st protests have rejected the IGP's proposal for a confined protest. On the foreign scene, death toll in India massive landslide has risen to 93. The news was edited by Onyeka Chinwosu. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I am Kalada Korubatbo. Good evening.